All right, so during President Cyril Ramaphosa's State of the Nation address last night, he announced that Eskom's capacity would be increased through renewable energy, natural gas, hydropower, battery storage and coal. Let's first take a listen to this.
We are taking the following measures to rapidly and significantly increase generation capacity outside of Eskom. The Section 34 ministerial determination will be issued by the Minister of Energy, Mineral Resources and Energy shortly to give effect to the Integrated Resource Plan of 2019, enabling the development of additional grid capacity from renewable energy, natural gas, hydropower, battery storage, as well as coal. We will initiate the procurement of emergency power from projects that can deliver electricity into the grid within 3 to 12 months from approval. The National Energy Regulator will continue to register small-scale distributed generation for own use of under 1 megawatt, for which no license is required. The National Energy Regulator will ensure that all applications by commercial and industrial users to produce electricity for own use above 1 megawatt are processed within the prescribed 120 days.
All right, let's discuss this further now. Energy expert Chris Yelland joins me in studio now. Chris, thank you very much indeed for joining us this evening. Let's get your reaction, first of all, to President Ramaphosa's commitments to new electricity generation.
Yeah, I think there's a growing realization that maintenance alone is not the longer-term solution. There is a critical shortage of generation capacity as well as energy in South Africa, electrical energy, and this can only really be met by new generation capacity, new resources committed to the generation sector. So I think that was very welcome that we're seeing this realization, and I hope that they will translate words into actions.
Yeah. The President is quite frank about the challenges facing South Africans, that load shedding is not going anywhere in the near future. I mean, the issue of the independent power producers, this is not an immediate solution, the introduction of IPPs. This is a long-term solution to South Africa's electricity woes, is it not?
Well, I would say it's a medium-term solution, but there are short-term solutions. The President alluded to emergency procurements. Personally, I think this is a waste of time. There are short-term options that don't need emergency procurements, and he also referred to those, and that is getting customers to become part of the solution through small-scale embedded generation on customers' premises, both in the under 1 megawatt range as well as the above 1 megawatt to 10 megawatt and above 10 megawatts upwards. These are solutions that can be delivered in 6 months to 18 months. All that it takes is a removal of red tape and regulatory bureaucracy and to get on with the job. And I think we need to really start seeing some signals that this is more than just talk. The other area that I think can deliver great rewards that was referred to by the President was allowing municipalities, large municipalities, metros, to become part of the solution.
And I want to talk about that municipal generation. I mean, for example, we were speaking a bit earlier on, there's a case in Cape Town that is being challenged by the Minister of Energy currently. So it doesn't seem like the Minister of Energy and the President, gauging from what he said yesterday, are singing from the same hymn book on this particular issue.
That's right. There's this court case which has been going on for several years now, where the Minister of Energy and NERSA are opposing the City of Cape Town's application to generate electricity itself, either from renewable energy or gas to power, or from procuring energy from IPPs in the Western Cape. And this is really a huge contradiction with what is being said yesterday, and I hope that the Minister of Energy will catch up with what is being said in the State of the Nation address, and will drop his opposition to these efforts by City of Cape Town, because the President made it quite clear that they would welcome municipalities from becoming part of the solution. And all major metros, Ekurhuleni, Pretoria, Johannesburg, Durban, Port Elizabeth, are all watching this with great interest because they also have ambitions to become generators of electricity as they were in the past.
Yeah. It seems like there's a lot that still needs to change. I mean, again, a Section 2, for example, if we talk about self-generation, yes. What the President said yesterday is in direct, Section 2 actually does not tie in with what the President said yesterday. Just educate us a bit on that particular aspect. What needs to change?
Yes, there is a Schedule 2 in the Electricity Regulation Act, which sort of details what areas of self-generation require licensing, which areas require a simple registration process. And at the moment, the Schedule 2 that is gazetted and is in place in the Electricity Regulation Act makes it really difficult. And it's in contrast with what the President said yesterday, that now the licensing requirements would be relaxed. There will still be registration requirements, but really it looks to me like government is wanting to move forward and to allow customers to become part of the solution. But we've got to get the regulatory process, the regulations in the Act, talking the same language as the President. And these are not complicated matters, nor should they take a long time. They are simple document matters and would give a great measure of confidence when the legal process, when the regulatory process is aligned with what the President is saying. At the moment, they're not aligned.
It shouldn't take a lot of time, but these new commitments to electricity generation that the President spoke about yesterday, it doesn't mean that all of this is going to happen overnight. Some of it might even take up to about 2 years or even much longer. Talk us through the possible process.
Well, as I say, when it comes to the municipal situation, I think a quick withdrawal from the opposition of the legal case would send a very strong signal as to what to do next.
The one in Cape Town.
The one in Cape Town.
Yeah.
The next thing, as I say, is the Schedule 2 of the Electricity Regulation Act. Really, if government got its act together, this could be done within 2 to 3 months. Then we're looking to ministerial determinations, what we call Section 34 determinations, allowing where the minister allocates a certain amount of generation capacity to different technologies and enables the integrated resource plan for electricity, the planning in that, to proceed. Again, this is something that can be done almost overnight, and the IRP was gazetted in November last year, and since then the minister has not issued these ministerial determinations, which is really holding back everything, all the progress that could have been taking place, which clearly the President is giving the green light to in his Sona speech yesterday. So I think it's really a case of government needing to be more responsive and react quicker. We understand the restraints and the need to act carefully, but I think we're in a crisis situation which demands immediate attention.
And implementation.
And implementation, not just talk.
All right, indeed. Thank you very much for your time, Chris.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure speaking to you. That was energy expert Chris Yelland talking to us, of course, about some of the new commitments that President Cyril Ramaphosa made relating to electricity generation in his State of the Nation address last night.